Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame. Ken Doherty to break.
Ken Doherty, twice a losing finalist in this Masters, gets this match underway against Shaun Murphy. Ken Doherty won the World Championship in 1997. Shaun Murphy, of course, had that great win in 2005. That was a poor break-off shot from Ken, but didn't leave anything that was going to tempt Shaun. Not early on in the match. Interesting game, will it? Hard to pick a winner.
Yes, I think before I saw Ken play his match against Mark Williams, I would have favoured Shaun Murphy quite strongly coming into this match, but I was very, very impressed with the way Ken Doherty played against Mark Williams. I think that was one of the matches of the tournament. Mark Williams had a pot success rate at over 90% and got beat 6-2. The standard the last 4 or 5 matches have been top draw. And look at this for a first safety shot. Ken had an in and out sort of season, and he's worked very, very hard over the Christmas period. We know that Shaun Murphy's in form, already won in Malta, and he was provisionally #1 going into the championship up at Aberdeen, and got to the semi-final and came out of the tournament provisionally #3. Tough school.
Big problem here for Shaun. These reds are spread far and wide. How do you find one that you can get to? I mean, the obvious one is the one near the left corner pocket near the top cushion, but he's got to avoid a kiss on the blue if he's going to get to that. The blue's the big problem for me here. Well, he's just going to hit, not the ball he aimed for. He can't hit that red near the top cushion.
And a miss. Ken Doherty,
getting that close to the blue. And I don't think the miss will be taken because there is a red that's available into the right corner. There you see it.
Taking an alternative with the looks of things, also on a value into the right middle. That would be played as a shot to nothing. If that hadn't been first frame, I'd have fancied him strongly to knock that in, but first frame, it always takes a few moments to settle. So the bad mistake from Shaun has created an opening.
Got to be honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised he chose that one. He could have played the one below the black in pot and it might have dislodged the black. It has still gone up for the blue. Anyway, this is just the start that any player would be looking for, although he's underhit that. He's played for the blue but not come far enough down the table.
May have to play the cannon on the pink here just to hold the cue ball. He needs to keep the cue ball in open play, and he can do that by playing the cannon into the pink. Very, very good break builder. Or both these players are good break builders. There's the little cannon on the pink. Score very heavily when they get in.
Seven. 12. $13.
Once again playing for the blue and not quite got it right, although I think he didn't get a good contact there. So, left middle, in and out of balk. There's a red near the top cushion he could play on. Lovely line.
18.
He's finished nicely on. Choice of reds.
Great little shot that, just flicking the black into play, but I think it's going to go back out of play again, isn't it, when it goes back onto its own spot. So he would love to get on the red that's near the black spot, but can't do that.
$26. $27.
Yes, thank you, Ray. Very interesting match, this. You could say that Ken Doherty had the first chance. He played a red to the right centre. It wasn't that difficult. Missed it. And this has been the result. This was it. He had a choice of one to the right corner, decided on that, missed it. And Shaun Murphy's been at the table ever since. The 4 points that Ken has got to his name was given in a foul shot by Shaun.
Thank you.
And this is an excellent opportunity. It's just the pink as well as the black is now tied up. And a few times in this break
34.
when he's gone up for the blue, he's just not quite got it right. But there I think he was happy with the balk colour.
Just wondering whether the pink will pot. If he's dead straight on this red, he may be able to hold it for the pink. He's just had a little glance at it. We'll have a little look now to see whether the pink's available in the opposite corner. Clearly not available in that one there because the red's in the way, but it may well be available in the right-hand corner. And the way he's played that shot, obviously it
38.
is available. So this is actually a good chance to win the frame now at this visit. Break goes to 44. It looks like the pink will go in exactly the same place, so we know it's available into just one pocket only at the minute. So to win the frame, still not over the line yet. He's going to play another couple of good positional shots to win the frame at this visit.
$45.
There's Ken's new attire, the shoes. Look like the old spats, don't they, that George Raff wore. Remember the film?
Alex Higgins wearing spats at
51.
one of the World Championships many years ago. He looks very, very smart, Ken.
Yeah, they're very dapper. You don't remember the film then?
No, I was trying to avoid that question. No, I don't.
52.
I think it was Some Like It Hot. He played a gangster and he sort of had a pair of shoes like that. And that was his nickname, Spats. The reason I mention it, because when I mentioned it to Ken, he said, oh, George Raft in Some Like It Hot. So he knew.
58.
Shaun Murphy now developed the pink into at least 3 pockets now, maybe 4. I think, yes, just about pots in every pocket now. So he'll be disappointed
59.
not to win the frame at this visit.
Yeah, I said when he got this chance, it's a perfect opportunity to get your hand on the table and get your cue arm going, and he's taken full advantage. He's taken these very well.
Just having a little look at Shaun's
65.
daisies. They're a bit special as well.
66.
I do like a fella that's got a bit of Carlisle. That's a beautiful pair of shoes there.
And while
72.
we're admiring people's footwear, Shaun Murphy has passed the winning post in this frame, and we could open up with a century here.
$73.
Ooh, he's overrun it. It wouldn't have mattered really if it had gone in off, because he's well past the winning
79.
line. But it may just affect now whether or not he makes the century. First frame. But that looks close. But not in.
Shaun Murphy, 79 in the first frame.
And Ken Doherty doesn't bother, he doesn't want to come to the table with some practice, he concedes. Lovely start for Shaun. 79 break, leads 1-0.
Yes, it was always a tough one to call, wasn't it, with these two players? The form they've showed in this tournament so far, both been in good form, and the fact that Shaun's won the first frame obviously makes him favourite. This is the break-off shot. There's Hawkeye's view of what was available. No chance at the pot because the black wasn't available. Could be a tempter in the middle here if he can avoid the cannon on the second red in playing the one into the right-hand middle. He'd only play the pot if he can avoid the kiss on the red that's to the left-hand side there, because he can't get a good white otherwise. Looks like he can't avoid the kiss, so he's not looking at the pot. See, that's the shot that it's fine if you can guarantee getting the pot, but you can't guarantee getting the pot. So I don't think he'll play that. He's just playing a safety shot. If it was an easier pot, he'd have took it on. But that Hawkeye was showing you there what would happen should he get close to the pot.
Mistake. And that was the one thing in this match, Willie, I don't know whether you agree or not. I thought in the tactical side of it, I maybe could just favour Ken Doherty, not call Crafty Ken for nothing.
I think that's a great point. In break building, you'd fancy Shaun. Safety play and tactics, you'd fancy Ken. Makes it an even game almost.
Yeah, well, I think Ken freely admitted that prior to his match against Mark Williams, he hadn't been scoring from opportunities like this. And, well, that's the nature of the modern game. When you get opportunities, you've got to take them, because they might be your last one.
Just looking at that position there, it's funny how different players would see that shot. I mean, I know Sullivan there might have potted the red in the middle, come round two cushions and freed the black, just purely because the pink's where it is. Ken didn't see that.
Well, having lost the first frame and not got his hand on the table, you can understand him being a little bit cautious at the beginning of this visit.
Yeah, I'm just worried if the pink spot stays covered, you know, whether he's going to be able to score. That's the only thing I was thinking of.
Seven.
Well, he'd love to be on this red to the left middle. Can he get through? We can. It's perfect. Because the pink goes into this corner pocket.
8.
Played it beautifully, didn't it? So it's worked out absolutely perfect. Shaun Murphy had one chance in the opening frame, made 79. How many is Doherty going to get from this, his opening chance?
$14. 15. 21. 22. 27. 28.
'Similar situation to Shaun Murphy when he was in the balls in the opening frame. Normally you'd be thinking, oh, he could win the frame from here, but it's still okay. He can get 3 or 4 more pinks without any problem, but then the work will start and he'll be about 60 in front. Needs to get to at least 74, doesn't he? So a little bit of work to do yet.
Yeah, there's plenty of reds. I think the main problem from it, I was just going to say, he must be dead straight on the pink, and that he was. That just made it a little bit awkward. It's always nice if you've got
34.
an angle on the ball you're playing, because then, you know, you can't just go straight forward and back. You can manoeuvre it. This time he'll be going up for the blue, so it's imperative he gets a good angle. And he's
35.
not. He's underhit it. So he's got to go in and out of balk here, and he's straighter on the blue than would be preferable for that type of shot.
And the yellow is going to come very close to being into play here. Well, he's avoided that nicely.
Cued it nice.
40.
And got the pace just about perfect.
Well, would you believe it? Has he fluked it? Has he fluked it? Wow.
41.
Well, we won't know what difference that could make.
Yeah, it's a type of shot we see missed so many times.
46.
Just trying to get that stun off the side cushion for the blue, and you just put a little bit of side on the cue ball and you finish up hitting it too thick. Oh, he's done it exactly the same again. Must be
Doherty,
playing with a bit of
46.
unintentional side here, Willie.
Well, John, we're going to get a chance to show it again. For me, he's aimed exactly where he's hit. Look where he's aiming there. That was just an alignment problem that time.
Maybe on that type of shot, after missing the other one, he was thinking it just float it in and the cue ball will move anyway.
You can sometimes tell, I think like when we saw Ding Junhui the other night playing out of a snooker, you could see where he was aiming. Actually, we had a good picture there. Look, he's just aiming at the right-hand jaw there. You can see right down his cue line. If you put a straight line straight through the red, he's aiming at the right-hand jaw. And that's exactly, as we let it run, where he hits.
Yeah, I can understand that, but for me, the only possible reason that you can do that, and he did it on the shot before, which he fluked, and he did it on that one, he's just putting a little trace of left-hand side on. And if you hit it a little bit harder than you want, that side will push into the object ball, because both times he hit it too thick. And that seems to have been a bit of a shock to the system for Ken, because that was a very poor safety shot.
Well, he's had 3 results in 3 shots, hasn't he? Mr. Pot fluked it. Mr. Ball got it safe. Mr. Ball again got it safe. So, as yet, Ken has not settled. This is one of those where you have to play with a lot of topspin to keep the white at this end of the table. If he plays with a lot of top right-hand side, and as long as the red misses the blue, the white will stay down that end. If you stun it in, you'd probably get the double kiss. So you have to play a half ball with right-hand side just to slow the white will kind of double spin and stay down that end. You can't get an advantage from that safety shot, but it's the only way of getting plenty of distance between the 2 balls. Let's have a look what he's doing. It looks like he's playing with the right-hand side. He got the double kiss and played it very well. If he hasn't got enough, it's a good shot.
Yes, it'd have to be in the centre, and then all. Yeah, just as long as he can get this cue ball in the centre of this top cushion. Looks safe enough. But whenever you've missed the 2 opportunities that Ken has missed here to win this frame, you're always thinking about why and how did I miss them, and they were big chances, and also shows a little bit of weakness, Willie, to your opponent. Well, I thought he'd got it safe, but he'd left that red.
Ken may be able to get through to the potting angle of the red to the extreme left-hand side of your screens. If not, he's got a very easy safety shot. Problem is with playing this pot, the gap between black and red, it looks quite large, but if you hit it too thick or too thin, the kiss black or kiss red is on. So it's one of those shots, if you pot it, you'll get the gap quite comfortably. There's the gap. But it looks like it's going to be only worth 1 point. I don't think the white's going enough.
1.
Well, this is tough to get safe.
Yes, he might be angled by them. I think he can get to the brown, but I don't think he can get to the yellow. You can certainly get to the brown. I mean, it's only going to be a safety shot. He's not going to think about playing the pot on a colour.
Brown ball.
Yes, ideally trying to find the baulk cushion in behind the yellow off the side cushion and back in behind them. But it was very, very hard to hit it hard
Ken
enough.
Doherty 1.
We were talking about how Ken Doherty could miss this. Now you can imagine that you're playing this shot and you're playing it plain ball. Okay, maybe striking a little bit low because he was going to screw back, but just as you bring the cue back and go for it, you just hit unintentionally slightly on the left. And that's what pushes the cue ball over to the right, and instead of potting the red, he hit it too much on the right hand side. But it was a shot he shouldn't have missed. Will he get another chance?
That was a good safety shot. That hit it very, very thin. Shaun will take this red on, the one just below the pink on the left, and be playing it as a shot to nothing. This is a better white. This is a lot better white. He's got him in trouble here.
Yes, even if Ken could get past the blue to the two reds on the... Well, he can, according to Hawkeye, I think. Just had a quick look at Hawkeye, and he thinks he can get past the blue. And he can, but boy, you'd have to hit it mighty thin, wouldn't you? You'd have to hit it mighty thin. So he's not playing, he's coming off the one or two cushions to nestle in behind. Ooh, he wanted to hit it fuller than that. I think he's left a red on to the right middle.
There's black in the corner, pink in the middle, both available. So should he pot this red, that 47-point lead could evaporate very quickly. Even though those three reds look safe at just above the black, they're very easy to kiss into from either pink or black. The red's there.
One.
Surprised he played for the brown. Maybe the black's not available. That's the reason he played for the brown. Well, the black is available, but he's perfect on the brown. Just getting the brown out of the way.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking the red in the middle was missable.
Five.
Playing it that way, he couldn't leave one should he miss it, but he knocked it in sweet. We didn't get into that quite right. He's a lot lower on this black than intended. Makes the black missable. No problem with the cannon. Just automatically potting the black. He's going to run into the three reds. In goes the black. And he's finished inch perfect.
13.
You feel only the red near the left-hand cushion could stop him from winning the frame at this visit.
14.
Ken Doherty may not get another chance.
Depending on what angle he has here, I don't think he can hold for the pink.
21.
And he'd like to get rid of the pink, really, just purely because that will then make those two reds, one of them at least, available into the middle pocket. But I
22.
don't know where with the pink being where it is, whether either of these two reds will pass the pink. The top one will pot, so he can roll this blue in and play for the top one of those two in the opposite middle pocket to the blue. Decided to play the flick, and it hasn't worked. Yeah, we're disappointed with that. That was a straightforward
27.
cannon.
Yeah, I think the reason he played the cannon, that top red probably only just passed the pink and he needed to be perfect on him. But as you say, Willie, once he'd decided to play the cannon, he'd be disappointed not to have caught it quite right. It was a straightforward shot. This frame, well and truly back on.
Shaun Murphy, 27.
And what a clever shot. That's the idea that we all tried to do, but a lot of us couldn't. You know, when you play a bad shot, you've got to put it at the back of your mind and give it 100% on the next safety. Shaun did that there. Ken once again in a bit of trouble. Ken's reluctant to try and move the red away from the side cushion because he knows that's a little bit of a safety valve for him. So he's going to have to rely on trying to catch this red thin to get back into baulk. Caught it thin. Plenty of distance between them. He's done pretty well there. Okay, maybe snookered on his next visit, but if he didn't fancy the pot. But at least he's kept that red on the side cushion that he could have hit a lot easier than the one he played.
Just wide. And normally when you play those shots in the middle pocket, you feel that it's more or less a shot for nothing, but not in this case. That red has come back towards the cue ball and it will go into this right corner pocket. One good pot here. 20 points the lead. It's there.
One.
Well played. The fact he's going to play a baulk colour means that he'll need the two remaining reds. So it's not straightforward.
Four.
Well, he's going to have to play for the black into the same pocket, I think, as the red, which means he needs an angle on that black to be able to get into that last red. Just having a little look to see whether he can get better position from the pink in the middle. Well, the angle's there to hold for the pink in the middle, but I'd be a little bit reluctant to do that in case you finish straight. Then you've got no chance of getting on the red. That's why he's played for the black, half ball. Now he's got two ways of playing this. He can either drop behind it, or he can try and bring it into play.
Yeah, and after this black, he only needs the red. But I think with that type of angle, Willie, I'd be tempted to try and bring it away from the cushion, wouldn't you? Could leave yourself an easy pot. Well, I think he did play the cannon, but
12.
no. Red needed. 32 points in front. Possible 35 left on the table.
Do you play the pot or not?
No.
You were so negative, JV.
Thank you.
Well,
Ken Doherty,
it's
12.
not the best of safety shots. I think there's enough of this red sticking out. But I still think the safety shot was preferable to the very risky pot red.
Yeah, the only thing that's in Ken's favour here is the fact that he needs blue or above to pinch the frame. And to get onto the blue, he's going to have to screw this red in. He can't just stun it in, because I think the blue will be too thin to cut in.
Yeah, there you see it, 32 behind. Red and the blue would put him 26 behind. Yeah, and that didn't make the shot more difficult. Now he needs a bit of luck here, Shaun. Didn't want to kiss that brown full ball. That leaves the red on that Ken needs.
Yeah, Ken will be delighted if he wins this frame, because he's looked a little bit shaky in this frame. Played a couple of bad safety shots, missed a couple of balls. But in goes the red, and he'll now relax, because he knows now, playing nowhere near his best, he's levelled at 1-all.
Three. Five. Eight.
You never settle, as we often say, until you get a frame on the board, and the way that Ken started looked a little bit shaky. This will certainly make him settle now.
12.
Hardly missed a ball against Mark Williams.
17.
79 break was enough for Shaun Murphy to take the opening frame.
23.
A 46 break is enough to have Ken Doherty take the second frame. The black doesn't matter. Ken Doherty looked a little bit shaky, but he did what he had to do. He had to get a foothold in the match, and he's done that, and we're all square at all.
So he breaks off. He won't be completely happy with his form so far, even though he won that last frame. He knows he can't afford to miss easy pots. And he missed two good opportunities early on. Okay, in the end he won the frame, but those can leave a little bit of a scar.
Hawkeye shows you that he's snookered on 13 of the 15 reds, just a couple sticking out. Either the ones that are sticking out, he can't get back into balk, so maybe one of those containing safeties. Doesn't want that keyboard to bounce. Ken will take this red on. He may use the pack here. He could flick off the pack and screw off the bottom of the pack to stay on the black, but that's one way of playing it.
Yeah, you don't think he can avoid kissing into the cluster. Main thing here, don't miss the red. Well, he could avoid it.
1.
And of course, if he could, then he would, because he had more control over the cue ball. Wasn't as thin as it looked. I'm sure they've changed these commentary positions, you know, Willie. My commentator's eye doesn't work as well as it used to.
Yeah, I've got to agree, John. It did look a thinner pot than it did from a different camera angle, but with that mistake from Shaun Murphy, Ken Doherty in with the early
5.
chance in this frame, and he'll gaining confidence with every pot now. Having had a shaky start, he looks like he did the other night against Mark Williams.
To be fair, his shaky start the other day against Mark Williams when he lost the first two frames, he never really had a chance.
10.
But he finished the match well.
11.
Well, he's straightish on the blue, but with that red sticking out on the right-hand side of the table, he only has to roll the blue in. But this is the last of the loose reds. I think he may have been of a mind, get a good angle on the blue and maybe try to cannon into the cluster. But that's not an option, not from this potting angle.
Yeah, the angle he's going to get on red to get onto the black is key, because it's not a good pack to go into. Ideally, the best way to go into this pack is low on the black, because he can stun up into them then. Playing the run through off the top cushion, he could stick
16.
on the middle red of the three that are facing the back of the pack. So low on the black is the best choice here. Well, he's played
70.
high. Now, if he kisses the middle red of the three at the back of the pack, he'll be sticking on them. That red there, right at the back of the bunch, that's the one he needs to hit half ball, not full.
Yeah, so what makes this a lot harder, you've got to play this with right-hand side. And these are missable at pace. Well, he played it a little bit conservatively there, didn't he? It was a case of whatever you do, don't miss the
24.
black. I don't mind if I just catch the edge of the reds. And he's knocked a red out, in all fairness. But it wasn't the breaking shot we was thinking of, Willie, was it?
Well, I'd have to suggest it was a little bit negative, to be honest, but he's still in play. This red is on. The shot I was suggesting was to play into them a lot
And off
thicker
to
than that.
24.
I'll tell you what, Willie, I was looking at Ken refusing that red there. I think he's got a plan.
Not going to do anything silly. This is the one I suggested, hitting that one full ball. But as you rightly say, John, I think he has got a plan. He's going to take no risks. He's not going to risk missing anything easy. And that's the reason he probably didn't play the shot we both thought he would do.
Well, this cue ball is nice and tight against the top cushion, which was the plan. There's a red in the ball, Ken, so there's no safety option up at that end of the table. So we could see a little bit of negative play for the next few minutes.
That's how high you have to queue up if you want to screw back, and that's what Shaun's hoping to do. He may be playing the red into the green just to slow the red down, but the key thing is to get the white back. He's played it into the blue. The key thing was not the red to come all the way back down again. Ken can put him back in trouble here again with the cue ball tight on the back cushion. Whenever you're playing this in your amateur leagues or whatever, or when you play this kind of safety shot, make sure you get the white tight on the cushion, because you gain the advantage in the safety. If you're not tight, you can end up second favourite in the safety exchange. That's why Ken's trying to get the cue ball, you see, right near the cushion, so he can't play the screw shot.
Yeah, but it's not one of his best, is it, really? Gives Shaun the option of trying to get the cue ball back to this top cushion. Just checking the reds. He's going to play just a little bit of pace. He just wants to make certain that one of the reds is not going to go over the middle or corner pocket. Well, one's going over the corner pocket. Should have been aware of that, Shaun. And if Ken Doherty knocks this red in, what a chance. He doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. The blue's over the opposite corner pocket.
Do you think that's just far enough away from the pocket to make it difficult, John?
Oh, it's not easy, because I think he's got to fully commit to this. I mean, if he starts digging down and stunning in, I think he can miss it. I just want to play it just a medium pace. Right, he's got a nice angle, there's no danger of going in off, and just float it in. A shot which I must say Ken is normally very good at.
He seems to be over anxious about the red on the left hand middle, that if he misses it he's bound to leave that, but as you rightly say, if he plays it slow he could cover that with brown or green. Played it slow, gone all out for the pot. Just shows you, doesn't it? That's a shot he should have got.
Yeah, I was surprised he was looking for what would happen if he missed it, to be honest with you. Just shows he's not come out this evening 100% confident. He nearly got the double kiss and fluked the red, but he'd be disappointed to have missed that.
One.
Shaun Murphy has quickly potted the red and blue,
6.
and now in a position to score quite heavily. The reds are in good position now.
Thank you. 7. Twelve. 13.
Screw back for the red in the same pocket, and I think that'll open the bottom red of the 3 into the opposite corner. So this is, even though he was 24 points behind, his favourite now to win this frame.
20. 21. 28. 29. 36. 37.
20-point lead. If he has the angle, he may decide to go up for the blue here. Yeah, probably go up for the blue, because the remaining reds are in the top half of the table. Wasn't the
45.
cleanest of contacts, that, but I don't think it's done him any harm. Yeah, you can see it just lifted off the table on impact. But as I say, he's got a nice angle on the blue. That puts him now 26 points in front. So 3 of these remaining reds would
50.
be more than enough. And the 3 reds are in open play.
$51.
Greens available as well, but taking the yellow just to get rid of the slightly trickier red. The one in between yellow and brown was always going to be a little bit more tricky to get on, and the one that's in open play on the right. So that's the reason he played for that red early.
53.
He knows he's 29 in front. So red colour red, depending on what size colour it is, will be enough.
54.
Now he's taking the yellow. He will need any colour. Normally you would play the red and flick the red into play, but the fact that he only needs the colour,
56.
he won't be playing to bring the red into play. That would be the normal shot.
$57.
So the blue to go 38 points in front with only 35 left on the table. I think we were of agreement. Ooh, that worked hard to go in. We were of an agreement, Willie, that Ken Doherty may be going to play it very cagey in this match. They had a safety exchange. You could say that Ken won it, but he missed the long red, and that looks as though that's cost him.
Shaun Murphy, 62.
He needs a snooker, does Ken. And this red that he's now left is not a million miles away from the red he missed to leave Shaun in. But of course, a lot easier being so close to it. So I'm a little bit concerned about Ken's form at the moment, Willie.
Yeah, he's not looking the same player at the moment as he did against Mark Williams, but it is early days. And he's very, very good in the snooker's required department, Ken, so Shaun's got to be a little bit careful here. He's been a bit fortunate there getting the snooker behind the blue, but he did play the snooker, but not quite like that. Ken's a little bit like Steve Davis of old. He never felt confident when they only needed one snooker.
Well, it was an excellent hit from Ken, but he needs a bit of luck. Well, that could stop Shaun potting this red, hampered as he is by the blue. But if Shaun did pot the red, that would definitely be end of this third frame.
Not very often you see the spider these days, is it? But absolutely essential here, and got to be very careful, isn't play a foul, of course, because Ken could then win. Oh, he did well there. That was a horrible shot to play. We know now that 2-1 is assured.
1. Five. 7. 10. 14.
'Bit of an exhibition shot there.
19. 25.
Oh, another exhibition shot, trying to double the black, but it doesn't matter whether it goes in or
Murphy,
not.
25.
He's got the frame. Ken Doherty was in first. Tactical battle. Ken had another chance. He didn't take it. Breaker 62 was enough to give Shaun Murphy a 2-1 lead.
I already think this is a massive frame for Ken Doherty as Shaun Murphy gets frame 4 underway. I think he needs to get a bit of confidence. I think if he went 3-1 behind, he'd be a little concerned. Best of 11, of course, so 3-1 at the interval is not the problems you have when it's best of 9. You always think best of 9, you want to be no worse than 2 each at the interval. 3-1's not too bad at the interval at best of 11. Ken's got to be just a little careful here playing the safety shot of the reds below the pink, because he doesn't want to kiss the brown. With those two reds being either side of the blue, any kiss on a bought colour means that Shaun will have a go at the long red. So he's got to avoid any sort of kiss on bought colour. He's done that. A little bit heavy with the cue ball though. Still could be tempted at one of those reds.
One.
Well, terrific pot. And that's what he's capable of, this young man. And that's why you need to find a good length with your safety. If it had been tight against the baulk cushion, that wouldn't have been an option. But it was, and what a good shot it was.
Six. Seven.
It's amazing, isn't it? The black was tied up a couple of seconds ago, wasn't it? One shot, it's in play. Blessed with a beautiful cue action, Shaun Murphy. Gets through the ball as good as most players. One of those players that's able to play deep screws without putting that much pace into it.
14.
Gets through the ball very well indeed. Not quite the stance you normally see from Shaun though. His legs are a little bit wider apart than normal.
15.
Won't be going into them here because he doesn't have the correct angle, so play for one of three reds he could play on here. All three he could get on. He could actually be on all three reds here in one shot. And he is on all three. Which one will he take?
22. Three. $28. 29.
Well, is he playing the shot that Ken refused in the previous frame? Amazingly enough, he did play the aggressive shot, but it turned out exactly the same as Ken's. It didn't arc enough and caught the ball half ball.
36.
Yeah, as I said with Ken's in the last frame, if you remember, to really get into the middle of those reds, you need to put a little bit aside. And these players, in fairness, Willie, are always frightened of putting side on with pace because it does push the cue ball away. And it makes pots missable. And they're always a bit worried. It's like when people always say to me, oh, I'm just learning the game, how do you play with side? Well, my immediate response is to cut out the side, learn how to pot a ball straight forward before you start having to allow for the use of side. Well, he's played a
Shaun Murphy,
thick
30.
safety shot, but he's got an excellent cue ball. Well played.
Not too sure whether Ken can get through to that red. No, he can't. So this is a tough safety he's faced here. The one below the pink on the left is trying to hit that very thin. The jaws of the middle pocket could be in the way here. Oh, he's missed them. That's a great reply. I mean, whether Shaun pots a ball or not, that's a great reply from there.
Yes, I think he has left the red on. But yeah, he couldn't have done much better than that. And as you say, Willie, any thinner on that red, and I think he would have caught the jaws in the middle pocket. It was brought about by Shaun Murphy's good safety. Now he's got to back it up with a good pot. Well, Ken will be relieved to see that Shaun missed the red, but he's been a little bit fortunate, Shaun, there. He's certainly not left anything easy. Once he'd missed that, and it kissed another red, and 2 reds were in the balk half of the table. He's lucky not to leave anything, but Ken is going to take this thin cut on to the right corner pocket.
I'd fancy him strong if he didn't need the rest. Makes it a lot more difficult, this one with the rest. Yeah, if he could have got his hand on the table, John, I think that was probably a 7 out of 10, wasn't it? But with the rest, you could miss anything.
Well, he missed it on the way up, didn't he? He missed it on the way up and caught it on the way back. That could be very costly.
1. Eight. 9.
Well, if he's straight, he's been a bit careless there because he had plenty of room there to get a good angle on the blue. Maybe have to screw on and off the cushion to get onto a ball. No, he's decided to leave the long pot. Now, okay, this is probably 99 out of 100 normally, but you shouldn't be faced with a
14.
shot in the pocket from length when you're in the balls like he was, but shouldn't be a problem.
15.
51 points in front, so 3 reds, 3 killers. It's 3-1, and I think on reflection that's just about a fair scoreline for the opening 4 frames.
$20. 21.
Great golfer as well, Shaun Murphy. Plays off a 6 handicap. He likes to play golf on his days off. And great game golf, isn't it? Not as good as this game.
23.
I'm going to say, Willie, are you talking to me?
24.
Anyway, you can't see any reason. Yeah, he was looking at green or brown, but I don't know. I mean, he could play the yellow and play for the red at the ball end, really. Well, he's screwing down the left-hand side. Oh, he's got the perfect angle, that's why. Little trace aside. 62 points in front, 67 remaining.
26.
So just this red needed. 3-1.
27.
It's at least that, I'm afraid. Ken's just not come out with all guns blazing. He needs to rethink, I think, at
34.
The interval. See how he can get back in this match. I just had the
35.
feeling he was going to play a little bit of a cagey game, but you can play safe all you like, but when you get the chances, you've got to knock the balls in. And he's not done that.
42.
Scoring has been very impressive from Shaun this evening. 79, 62, 36, 43 now and counting.
43.
So with his black, he'd have made a 50 above in all the frames he's won. That's the kind of shot, I mean, that Shaun gets through very, very well when he's playing the little screw shots and that.
50.
That's not there, but I'm sure Ken Doherty will
Murphy,
decide
50
to
and a
have the
frame.
interval. Murphy started with 79, he went 2-1 in front with 62, he's gone 3-1 in front with a break of 50. Doherty 3-1 behind.
Mid-session over. Ken Doherty gets this match back underway. Frame 5. Now, did he have a nice cup of tea and settle himself down for the challenge ahead? Because it is a challenge. Being 3-1 behind against a player of the quality of Shaun Murphy.
Even though he's left the red on the left-hand side, the black's not available, so I don't know whether he can impart any screw back on this because he's near the cushion. Depends on whether he's dead straight or not.
Well, I'm just looking at the angle there, Willie, and maybe there's a chance of potting the red and running round the back of the black for the black in the same pocket, but too risky, Ken thinks.
Two shots on the trot, too thin. That's the reason the cue ball's coming back out of baulk. Same scenario there, black not available. The pink's now free. You can certainly get on the pink in the middle if he wants to take the long red on, but deciding on the safety again. Will Ken find the baulk cushion?
Well, he didn't, and he's left the red to either corner. One to this left corner, one to the opposite corner. You'd expect a better safety shot than that from Ken Doherty.
Went all out for position on the black. A lot of players may have decided to play the run through for blue or baulk colour, but when you know you're queuing well, that was definitely worth the risk.
Well, he's played for this red along the top cushion. He's okay, but he'll need an angle. If
8.
he's too straight, you don't want to be forcing this. It's just about okay.
9.
Couldn't have played it better. Good shot.
It's amazing how tough that shot is. He's just knocked in very easy. They're the kind of shots you've got to get them in off the far jaw, off the
16.
near jaw. You can wobble those. Once he gets rid of the red above the black, this is a good chance.
Thank you. 17.
Yes, I was a little bit surprised you didn't play for the red that's just the left of the black off the last black. But he's on it this time. He wants to be on it in such a way that he can pot it without cannoning into the black, and I think he's just about
24.
perfect. Yes.
25.
This may be a forcing stun shot. Plays the screw is no good. Needs to stun through these reds to keep the white in open play. But that's what I was saying. Don't play the screw. That's a poor shot. And funny enough, Shaun's just looking up at the commentary box because that's one of the shots we were talking about that he's been practicing an awful lot, playing the stun into the pack. You see people like O'Sullivan force a stun through the pack there. Even if you don't get on a red, you're keeping the white in the middle of the table. As I mentioned on commentary, that was very, very easy to screw back off those. I know his friend and colleague Kev is watching in the audience, and that'll be something they'll be practicing in the morning.
Shaun Murphy.
Well, he wanted to keep the break going. That was a very risky red to take on. He could regret that. Wouldn't bite the bullet and play safe. And nowhere near the pot, it has to be fair.
1.
Straighter on the blue he'd have liked. There's a couple of loose reds, but will he play the cannon? No, playing for the loose red, the one that's immediately above the black. This cue ball needs to slow up a bit though.
6.
Just on it.
Seven.
Well, there was another red that potted, so he was in nice position. I think it's imperative now for Ken Doherty to make a sizable break here. Of the two players at the moment, you fancy Shaun Murphy making frame-winning contributions rather than Ken.
14.
And you do it for your own confidence, but you also do it to make your opponent aware that if he takes liberties, which maybe Shaun did on his last shot, that you're going to punish him.
15. Yeah. 22.
There you go, he wasn't happy, it was a heavy contact. He put a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball, but it just about got there.
23.
Well, he's not played that too well. Fortunate that he's got a red in the balk end, so he could play on that. But he wanted a better angle than this on the blue.
That's the reason he's having to play for the one in the balk area, because of that angle he has on the blue. Excuse me. Similar scenario, 3/4 blue needed here to
28.
go into the half ball pink. It's one of those shots where if you do go into the pink, you want to hit half ball rather than full ball. So half ball on the blue, half ball on the pink. That's what you should be thinking now.
29.
But once again, he's just not settled tonight yet, Ken. Everything appears at the moment to be hard work.
$32.
I don't think he expected to get that close to the middle pocket. Anyway, it's It's okay if he can knock this in with the rest. He's usually pretty good with the rest. And that was an excellent pot.
33.
He's got a bit of an angle on the black. That red took it 1 point in front. He's just looking if there's a red available into left middle without going into him, but I don't think there is. I think he's going to have to come off the top cushion with lots of pace. We need a bit more pace than that, Ken. So that's end of break.
40.
He's just not playing aggressive, is he? Just not getting any cue ball movement at the moment, Ken. That can only be a bit of tension. He was very free-flowing the other night against Mark Williams. Had plenty of cue ball movement. But the white's almost looking like it's a heavy white tonight, the way Ken's playing. It can come with a bit of tension in your arm, you see. You don't generate the spin you would like. Won't be thinking of putting a red safe just yet because he's only 8 points in front. It's key to find the baulk cushion.
Ken Doherty, 40.
Did not possible to play the snooker behind the pink, but I don't know whether Shaun can flick the red just below the pink. He certainly can't hide it behind a baulk colour because it's too thin. So all he can do is get a good white here. Just a little bit sticking out. Just make sure you don't kiss the green in playing the shot. That's the key thing.
Well, it looks as though he can hit enough of it to maybe get the cue ball back behind the brown and yellow. Or can he? There's not a lot of this red sticking out. On the pink move, but I don't think it was because the cue ball hit the pink first. I think it was the red that just made the pink just move. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, I think it was the red made it move.
That's a clever shot because he's covered the red up with the yellow. That's a very clever shot. He'd have been in trouble there if he could have seen the red, Ken, because he could have easily got in behind brown and yellow. The fact is now it's a tough safety shot. In behind brown and yellow is what he'd be playing off this red. Needs once again to cover that red in baulk. And this looks just about perfect, does it? Bit harder needed. You can see it. This is a little tempter, this little cut into the corner. Or is it too thin? This white's going to be out of baulk. That's another reason I've said Ken's not queuing. His safety game is normally top draw. Tonight, he's been out of ball more than he's been in it. And this is on. The red to the right of the blue is potable.
Yes, and the type of pot that Shaun's normally very good at. You wouldn't expect this to be far away.
One.
We talked about cue actions early on and how much response he gets from a ball, and there's I think can only assume that he played for the blue, but look at the pace he got into that cue ball there with very little effort. So just one good shot away from making it a frame winner. I don't think either of the two reds will pot after potting the red behind the two. You need one more kiss, I think. If the red below the pink is on the pink spot and the pink does pot, you'll get on the pink now, because that'll get the pink out of the way. Yeah, the pink spot must be covered, because he wouldn't have played for the pink otherwise. These two reds will be on after this shot.
Ten.
Yes, you were right, Willie. So that really opens it up, doesn't it? 2 points in front now.
$11.
That has opened the pink spot. He's going to have to play the one along the top cushion eventually. Deciding to leave it though. And that really is the only hope you can see for Ken Doherty here, the one along the top cushion.
17.
If he happened to finish on that straight or something. We were looking for a nice angle on
18.
the black just to drop behind it. Could have been a little bit straighter on this black for comfort. Left himself the perfect angle on this red, but we know, particularly when they're just off the cushion
25.
like this, they're always missable. But as I say, perfect angle to hold for the black.
$26.
Excellent shot. Either one cushion on and off. Needs the yellow. Could play around the back of brown and yellow, but it's easier to play just the run through off one cushion. 25 in front, frame ball is the yellow.
Yes, and Ken was looking for something a little bit better after the interval, but we've not seen it. I would say for all Ken Doherty
35.
fans, a little bit worrying.
I think Ken would have been really excited, John, wouldn't he, after playing Mark Williams the way he did the other night, thinking he'd got his form back, but it seems to be a lack of confidence in Ken this evening.
42.
Yeah, amazing really. Got a good chance in the second frame, and although he won it, he didn't make the most of it. Didn't really matter about the blue. Shaun just
42 in
potted
frame.
the brown and left
Shaun
himself
Murphy.
the blue just for a bit of practice. Ken Doherty leaving the arena with a lot more to think about. He trails 4-1 to Shaun Murphy. And when Ken comes back after his comfort break, we'll return with commentary.
young lady Claire, who's come along to watch the snooker this evening. We're wishing her well, and hopefully she'll be back here again next year I should say. Stanmore Hospital is where she's at the moment. Hopefully she'll be back again next year for 31 years out of 32. Tried to cover the red with the blue and red, but he's left it. Shaun doesn't want to take any liberties. He's 4-1 in front, but we know what the battling qualities of Ken Doherty are. You know, don't let Ken get back in with any good form, because he can quickly close this gap. Doherty won't lay down, that's one thing for sure.
One.
Restricted as to what colour he could play for there. That cue ball needs to slow up a touch as he run too far.
3.
He's down on one knee, so it must be tight as to whether he can get through to this red. Oh, he's having to play a little swerve. Trying to swerve it.
Ken
Just
Doherty,
couldn't get
3.
enough of the red to pot it. Just overscrewed off the yellow, and he just couldn't turn that cue ball enough. So it was a reasonable chance, and he's not made the most of it. Not for the first time this evening.
Yes, he'll be well pleased the red didn't stay in the pocket at the pace he played it. Oh, Shaun, answers on a postcard. Where that red should have ended up. It should have ended up tight on the side cushion. Ken will take this on.
One.
Good pot that. Playing with a little bit of left hand side. And he's finished nicely on the yellow.
Not too sure whether he can run through and get onto the red that's on the black spot without kissing the blue. If he is going to kiss the blue, he's going to have to play a little stun run through. Yeah, played it down the other side. Ideally, when he first got down, he was going to play on the red on the black spot down the right-hand side of the table. But played it down the left-hand side and played it very well.
3. 4.
Overscrewed that by 2 or 3 inches, which makes the pink slightly more difficult. Running through plain ball, maybe kissing the red on the cushion, which he doesn't want to do. Yeah, played the little hold shot off the edge of the bunch, and that wasn't the bad shot for me. It was
Shaun
the
Murphy
red getting
4.
on the pink.
Yes, in the worst possible scenario, he's missed the pink and he got inch perfect position. And that's what it was.
1.
Because gave Ken the opportunity to pot the red and bring the black into play. Ken needs to start making the most, though, of these opportunities. He's not going to win this match with dribs and drabs.
He's got to start playing aggressive. He's went into that pack again very, very
8.
negatively. When you see an O'Sullivan play that shot, they'll get into it, and that white will push through the other reds as well.
Yeah, to be fair, he was close to the black there, Willie, wasn't it? So it does restrict how much power you can get into it. Well, he got down as though he was on this red to the left middle, but now he's having second thoughts. Is he not on it?
Nine.
When it's going bad, this is what happens. You get kind of betwixt and between. You know, the blue's a thin cut in the middle, and if he just plays a roll in plain ball, he'll miss the bunch, and on and off the cushion is what he'll be looking for here. So that's just rolled on enough to make him possibly need the rest.
14.
Had plenty of days like this. However hard you try, everything finishes awkward.
Thanks. 15.
This is one time when you'd really like to be straight on the black, and then he could run through and play for a red into the opposite corner. But he's not straight enough for that. They have to play for the red in the middle of the table. But played it well. But the black at the moment, with
22.
that red being to the right of the black, doesn't go in the right corner pocket. That's why if it had been straight on the black, it'd definitely play for the red that's blocking that path. But it's up for the blue. Not a bad time to play for the blue because he's got 2 reds at the other half of the table. So if he did come short, which he
23.
hasn't. Now this could be the key shot for me. It's very, very important that he gets on this red to the right of the black. He's having a look at the angle. Is it worth the risk that I think one of those 3 reds in the middle of the table go to the right corner? Well, I'm not quite certain what he played there. He's played for the red in the ball.
28.
Wasn't taking any risk there in not being on a red.
29.
But as I say, he's got a bit of a crisis on at the moment, and he's just trying to battle his way through it. So any shot he plays, if he's happy with it, we shouldn't be giving an opinion. He's trying to battle his way back in the match. But I don't know what he's played for there.
For
31.
the top red of the 3, he's overhit it by 2.5 feet. I mean, this red's still on to the right of the black, but he's cannoning into the other red. A, the pot's difficult. B, the position's difficult because he's going to have to rely on the half-ball kiss. He could cover the black up here. It's just not happening for
Ken
Ken.
Doherty. 31.
Really struggling. Is he taking this red on into the yellow pocket? He was, but you're going to have a bit of good fortune after this kiss to get away with it. And he hasn't got it, I don't think. Ken's been presented with the second frame. It looks like he may be presented with the sixth frame. As I said earlier, Shaun's got to be a little bit careful. Ken's out of sorts, and it could be 4-2. Whereas normally, if you've got a man out of sorts, you win 6-0. So you've got to be careful.
Eight. Nine. 16. 17.
That black puts him 54 points in front, so just looking for a red, and he's nicely on it.
24.
This to go 55 in front with only 51 remaining. Not done it in the grand style, but he's eked out a victory in this frame.
25. $30. 31.
May decide to play the kiss on the red that's on the cushion. If he didn't get the kiss, he's on the other red. That's probably what he did try to do. There you see he's on the other red just in case.
35. 36.
He's trying to force himself, isn't he, Ken, to get a little bit of freedom in his play at the moment, trying to play a little bit quicker. He played at a lovely pace the other night against Mark Williams and looked very,
43.
very dangerous.
44. 51. 53.
You keep giving your opponent chances, eventually they'll get themselves back in stroke. The last 30 or so points that Ken Doherty's played in this break, he looks to be queuing a lot better.
$56.
Made a break of 46 in taking the second frame. Made a break of 56 in
56
taking
on the frame.
the next frame, so Doherty's got a foothold back in this match. It looked to be drifting away. He's won it though and trails by 2. He trails by 4 frames to 2.
So Ken Doherty gets frame 7 underway. Still not firing on all cylinders, but hanging in there at the moment. Good break off.
you saw Shaun's expression on his face as he was leaving the table there, he hit that far too thin. He's actually played to hit the red full ball. And he thought he'd gone in off. He was delighted to see the white not reaching the bottom of the pocket. This frame is magic in my magic. This frame is so important for Ken Doherty. If he wins this frame, he's right back into the match, not playing anywhere near his best. I think this is more important frame for Shaun Murphy than it is for Ken.
Foul. Shaun Murphy for.
Murphy maybe should have gone in off. Ken Doherty did go in off. He's looking to line it up as a shot to nothing, Shaun, around the back of the black, but it won't be a shot to nothing where the red is on the right hand side. This is going to have to go in. He won't be playing into baulk, he'll be playing a hold for blue or baulk colour. There's some strange things happening out there at the moment.
One.
Went into it nicely that
6.
time, and it couldn't have worked out much better. He's on a straightforward red just to run through for the black.
7.
Not made the most of these chances, particularly early on in frames. What can you do with this one?
$14. 15.
Well, just got to be careful here. It's an automatic cannon, but it wasn't really anything that was going to put you on a red that you was automatically going to be
22.
perfect on it to get on the colour. He's on this red to the left corner, but he's running on off other reds here in trying to hold for the black. Well,
23.
Went the red, and is he on the black?
Okay.
Maybe just. He'd like it easier though, Will, wouldn't he?
It's actually worked out not too bad because it is a really difficult black and missable, but the pace he's going to play it, he's going to cover the pocket for the two reds that he would leave should he miss it. So he's going to play it at a pace now where it almost becomes a shot to nothing. If there was reds available down the left-hand side, you could fancy him possibly missing the black, but the fact that it's a shot to nothing, I don't think it's missable. There's the line that my colleague JV's put up to say that. See how he's played it at a pace, you see, knowing that, well, he should have covered the
23.
pocket. If he hasn't covered the pocket, that's a dreadful shot. He shook his head. I don't think he's covered the pocket.
Well, not all the pocket is available. I think he was shaking his head as well, though, at the fact that he overcut the black so badly. That's why he didn't really get in the jaws. Well, Ken seemed to think this red had gone, but as I say, there's only half a pocket there. Well, he's not done any real damage here, Shaun. You don't think there's a red that Ken Doherty would be forced to take on?
Well, he hit that red so bad it wouldn't have gone in if the black hadn't have been there. It'd have hit the left-hand jaw. So he's definitely gone off the ball, Shaun, at the moment. And from cueing beautifully and looking like he was in tip-top form, just lost his way for a few moments.
Yeah, you just get the feeling at the moment that Ken is quite happy with a scrappy frame, whereas Shaun likes it nice and open with the colours on the spots. So crafty Ken just beginning to take the edge of Shaun Murphy's game, it seems to me. Don't call him crafty Ken for nothing. And as we always say, if you can win when you're not playing at your best, that's the measure of a player. Well, as we could see, that red would go, but the reason Willie and I never mentioned it, because I really didn't think that was a shot to play. Well, he's been a bit fortunate to leave Ken hampered for this easy red. You've got to be wary of the middle pocket here.
1.
He's okay, and you know, he's nicely on the black. That'll do nicely.
Eight. Nine.
He's played that nicely. He's put the cue ball in between those reds, so he's not hampered in playing the black. And it was important that he could get his cue through. There you see, positioned it beautifully, didn't he? Oh, but Ken.
Ken Doherty, 9.
Well, I don't know what it is, but he's not the player who beat Mark Williams so far this evening. No excuse for that. Wasn't trying to do anything with the cue ball.
One.
Let's finish some 2 feet short, play for the blue in the middle. He plays the green, he's going to have to swing it round 2 cushions, maybe 3 to get onto the 2 reds on the right hand side, into either the corner or the middle pocket. He can drop on the cushion. Similar scenario, yellow round 3 cushions or the green round 3 cushions. It's the only way he can get onto a red.
Yellow.
The red that's nearest the left-hand cushion, that would be if you can get the white anywhere near there, that would be in his mind. Try and get anywhere near that red that's on the cushion. See, it always gives you options, and you see, you just play in areas sometimes. You don't necessarily have to play directly on a ball. You just play in areas. Maybe worth taking the risk here, playing for the black, just purely because from blue or bought colour to reds again is difficult. So he's took the risk. Has he gone too far? Has he gone too far?
4.
has gone too far.
Well, can he get through to the blue to play safe? Obviously can. So
Shaun
it's turned
Murphy,
into
4.
a real scrappy game, this. And Ken Doherty having a 24-point lead, you would have to say would be slight favourite, the way the balls are.
Has he underhit this? When have you ever seen Ken Doherty play such poor safety as I've seen tonight? Never happens. I put Ken Doherty in my top 3 safety players in the world. Tonight 4 or 5 times the cue ball's been out of the balk area when playing safe. That one there some 2 or 3 feet short.
I'm sure he didn't intend to kiss the brown, but... Well, I was thinking that he might have knocked the brown on into a possible position. Maybe he hasn't. Well, if he just trickles up and plays a snooker behind the green, he'd certainly not made the most of this opportunity.
Green ball. Shaun Murphy, 1.
One of the better shots that Ken's played. And he's nicely on the brown. Now, he's looking to screw round here off 3 cushions to get near the bottom reds, but the green could be in the way if he gets in too much. Oh, dear me, Ken. You know, I mean,
1.
as we always say, do what you like, but don't miss the pot. That was amazing. Got no confidence this evening for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. You thought that victory against Mark Williams, Willie, might have just resurrected his career, really. This season, anyway, resurrected his season, because he's provisionally down to number 16 in the world.
I must admit that when the way he played against Mark Williams, I was considering him not only maybe winning this tournament, but winning tournaments again. But, as we've discussed on a few occasions, he's certainly lacking confidence this evening, and certainly not getting through the ball. He's quitting on shots, and he was very jabby on that brown there that he missed.
X on the yellow's not helped. There's certainly one red available into this left corner. Although when you have bouts of safety play like this and the reds go awkward, well, it just about goes. It can take the edge off the potting.
Well, he's looking at the gap round the back of the two reds near the back cushion. He's trying to get through that gap, maybe to kiss the reds down the black, but it's a bit dangerous, isn't it? But it does become a frame winner if he does get the kiss and get the black onto its spot. Now has he got the kiss? Just missed the kiss. Unlucky that. Aggressive shot.
1. Five.
Not too sure whether he played the cannon on the pink,
6.
but it's worked out very nicely. Now the pink's in play, he can get right back into this frame. Ideally, he would like to play the black just purely off the next red, I mean, just purely to get that other red into play. He may decide to leave an angle on this next red to once again play a shot similar to the one he did when he first started this break, play the cannon on the red. Unusual to play cannon from red to red, but it's worth the risk here, I think. I'd be playing the cannon on this red.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. There's a chance of, as you say. There you see, he's just looking. He's looking where he needs to go.
11.
That's what he's looking at. And the worst way, he'll bring the red into play and he'll be on the pink. Not bother about being on the black. Nicely played.
Yes, 2 shots he's played there. Brought the pink into play on the previous shot, brought red and black into play on that shot. He was 24 points behind when he came to the table. He's just gone favourite now to win this frame. Especially if he can get onto the black now, because that makes the last red easier.
No, he's looking, so he's obviously straight enough on this
15.
red. Yeah, he can hold for the black in the same pocket.
Sixteen.
And he's got the perfect angle because he wants to play for the red in the same black as this, the same pocket as this black.
Well, he's dead straight. That's no good. That's no
23.
good. I think he might just be potting this red and maybe playing the snooker him behind the black, because I think if he plays it at pay, sometimes you can run through these, John, can't you, and use the jaws to bring you out into open play for pink or black, but you have to play them firm.
Yeah, you do. I agree with you. Your first thought, pot the red, little screw back, snooker behind the black. Because there's a slight angle. Well, you know, Shaun, he's going to force it, more pace, more likely to miss it. Well, in the end,
24.
he took our advice, didn't he? Just made certain of the red, and now
Black.
the snooker. The points are all
Shaun Murphy,
square.
24.
But Ken Doherty, who looked favourite for this frame for quite a while, has just gone second favourite.
Yes, even if he hits it, how's he going to get it safe? How's he going to get it safe? Why not like that? Brilliant shot. Well played.
Well, that was a superb hit. I always did say he was one of the best at getting out of circus. Angles McManus was your favourite, Willie, wasn't he?
Talking about players out of form, Allen's been sadly out of form for the last couple of seasons. This is a poor shot unless the blue comes to the rescue.
And it may just have done. Yeah, Alan McManus, former winner here, wasn't he? He broke Stephen Hendry's run. Well, Ken having a good close look, so yes, he can get through to this yellow. Well, I'm sure he was hoping to be on the green in the same pocket as the yellow, but that's not the option. But at least he potted the yellow. But he needs another good shot on the green. Not a lot to do with the cue ball, although he'd prefer it to be straighter.
He decided to play it slow, John, because he can cover it with the blue, can't he, if he plays it slow?
Yeah, I think that's the way he'll play it. It's there.
5.
And he's on the brown. And he's got a 5-point lead, so the brown and blue will do.
Oh,
9.
the green wiped its feet. The brown certainly. When he first struck this, I thought it was on the left-hand jaw, but just went a little bit to the right. Somehow, Ken Doherty's got himself in this match.
14.
At 4-1 behind, it looked for all the world 6-1. Shaun Murphy is going to have to be very, very careful. He could have missed a very good chance to knock
20
Ken
in the
out
frame.
quite easily.
Ken Doherty.
Yeah, so Ken Doherty, not in the pink, not bothered about the black. He's just one behind now, 4-3.
Well, what's happened to the break-off? What a turnaround we've had here.
One.
Perfectly played from Ken. But what a gift of a red he was presented with. Black fell out of the pocket. And Shaun Murphy has just, as I say, gifted
8.
this. I mean, look at this. Because it's so full. I mean, we know the break-off's dangerous because you leave reds to corner pockets, but... Oh! Well,
9.
I thought that was going to slip off. Went more to the jaw than he expected, believe me. But this is where your instinct
16.
and your match play comes in. Okay, he mustn't be feeling 100% with his game tonight, Ken. But you've got to stick in there. Because at the end of the day, there's a match to be won. All about clearing up with century breaks.
17.
Good shot, that. Still the red available at
24.
the bottom of the bunch.
$25. 32.
Well, 4 reds, 4 blacks, but he's not got a great angle on this red to get the angle on the black, so he may decide to go for blue or bought colour here. To get onto the black, he'd have to screw around the bottom 2 cushions, and he wouldn't get a good angle on the black doing that. Decided to go for the black.
33.
So is his mind on going for a 147 at this early stage? Wasn't too long ago, John. He missed the very last black here.
Yes. What a sickening that was. I think there was a car for the highest break that year, wasn't there? But I don't think he'll be thinking 147 here. As I say, I think after the
40.
interval, he's just thought, I'm not playing at my best here, but I'm going to make it as tough as for my opponent as I can. And at the moment, he seems to have just taken the edge off Shaun Murphy's game. So we have got a match on. At 4-1 like you, Willie, I thought, well, Shaun looks a good thing here. Going back for the black off this red. Nicely played.
41.
But it's changed a bit now in the last couple of frames.
A lot of players would go into the... Sorry, excuse me. A lot of players would go into the bunch here, but he could slip off the reds. That's why he might decide to play for the loose red. Wait for a better angle on the black. Especially if he's got it in his mind about going for the 147, because it would have been risky then to have played into them off that black. I think he's gone high enough for the red to the right of the pink. Yep. Anything but straight on this next black, and he can go into them if he wants.
$49.
Similar problem here. This is not once again a good pack, so he may play for the loose one again. He's going to have to leave an half ball black to go into them. And I don't think he can
56.
screw on and off the cushion to leave a half ball. The only way he can do it is screw back and leave the white. It's not dissimilar to where it is now.
57.
Well, he's gone into it a lot. That's not too bad. He's forced into going into it, and this is a perfect angle. Doesn't have to play them hard. The outside of those 2 reds above the black, the right-hand red, push through that.
Well, this will tell us,
64.
because there doesn't look to be a red that you'd play for the black on here. And as I say, there's a match to be won. Hit them perfect, but just couldn't run through enough. So he's going for the blue, and quite right.
65.
Someone shouting out in the audience, come on Ken, make certain of the frame. Well, I think he's already decided on that, pal. With the shot selection.
70.
May have had a few quid on Ken to get the highest break. 145 would suffice, I would think.
Yeah, still 135 by Ding Junhui in that marvellous match and break he made yesterday evening.
71.
Ken was struggling to make 40 in the first 5 frames. Just shows you at this game when you get a little bit of confidence back. And a lot of it's been given by his opponent playing so poorly in the second half.
And he's hit that as sweet as a nut.
78.
Yeah, Shaun Murphy just seemed to be in the ascendancy, but then all of a sudden just went off the boil. And Ken
79.
right back in this now. The frame well and truly over. Can he get that 145? Because that would be a contender for the £10,000 highest break.
86. 87.
Yeah, buy a few nappies, that, wouldn't it? Ken's a father for the first time, just a few months ago, Christian.
$93. He's playing for
94.
the pink. So reduce how many he can get, but he should get over 140 here if he clears the last two reds and colours after this pink. But this for the century, and well played indeed. That's more like it.
Century 242. Certainly no slouch in the century break
101.
department. Got a slight kick there, maybe forced into playing the pink. Just took a little pace out of it. Just watch the white. Just that little bounce takes that 2 or 3 inches of pace out of the cue ball. He's back in the form he was the other night now. Frame 9 is going to be massive for Shaun Murphy, because if he goes 5-4 behind, it'll be a tough match to win.
108.
Once again decided to play for the pink rather than the black, although the other time he didn't, in all honesty, but it just reduces what the total clearance can be. It is now at 141.
114.
Still a major contender it would be for the
116.
highest break prize. Just to reiterate, £10,000. At one time, up to
190.
possible 147. That'd have been an extra 25,000. But as we said at the time, the frame was the most important thing.
123.
And he's now leveling the match in some style.
128.
A few moments ago, he was 4-1 behind and
134.
looking like going out of this Saga Insurance Masters. Some half an hour later, he's made the highest break of the tournament so far. A magnificent clearance of 141 in contention for the high break. He's now in contention to win this Saga Insurance. We're level at 4-4.
There has been certain times this evening at 3-1 and 4-1 that I thought this match could be a little bit of a runaway for Shaun Murphy. How dare I lose faith in somebody like Ken Doherty. Great match player, a battler, and he's battled his way right back into this match now. Terrific opening red from Shaun. Unlucky not to be on a colour.
Yeah.
What a cracking pot. He probably felt he was going to cannon into that red and thought he was 50-50 being on the black. Unfortunately for him, it was the 50 that wasn't going to be on the black. So it's only a safety.
Shaun Murphy won. Thank you.
Looking at the thicker safety shot to not only possibly bring the black more into play, but open the reds up, and got to be a little bit careful because Ken's now in form. Thicker safety shot he's playing. Got to get a good white when you play those thick safeties. It is a good white. A couple of reds at distance available for Ken. Will he take one on?
Well, he's got a comfortable return back to balk, and in fact the second red down from the pink, he's just had a look and I think it goes in the left corner. So if it does, you play that, automatically cue ball going back to the balk end. See, it just goes. It's close enough, but he knew it. Well, he doesn't want to kiss the brown. Well, not unless you kiss it like that. Although having said that, he's left a possible long pot, but these pots that were going in early on in the match, Willie, don't seem to be going in as regular now.
It's going to be made more difficult if he decides to screw back as a shot to nothing. If it was just a case of stopping it dead for the blue, which will obviously be very risky, means the pocket will play a little bit bigger, but the harder you play this shot, the less of the cushion you can hit. But if you hit them as clean as that, they'll go in any pocket, and that is very unlucky. OK, he's going to put Ken in all sorts of trouble, but he'd rather be playing the pot rather than the snooker.
Shaun
Not
Murphy
careless
won.
this time, is he, leaving a long pot on? He's made sure he got in behind them.
Yes, and the way the reds are spread far and wide, this is a big, big problem for Ken. I mean, the red you'd like to make contact with is the one that's nearest the right corner pocket, the one closest to the top cushion. But how he gets there, I don't know.
Is there just enough room to check it up in between green and brown, John, off one cushion? Is that an option?
Well, the shot you're talking about, Willie, is something like that.
You'd have to play with a little bit of check side though, John. It's not a natural, is it? You couldn't play it plain ball.
You're making it sound ever so easy, Willie.
I'm afraid it's just an option. This might be a hit and hope time.
I think the problem is with that shot, and I see your point, it's just that when you're coming off the balk cushion, you just got a feeling that you can't avoid kissing the brown or green.
Well, what's he going to decide on? Do you fancy hit and hope, or do you fancy trying to rest on that red? Stand by your beds if he plays it at pace. Well, if he hits this half ball, this is absolutely top draw. Absolutely. OK, he's left the pot in the middle. That was fantastic.
Well, that was a shot from Fantasy Island. He couldn't have dreamt of anything better. Terrific shot. The crafty Ken does it again.
The red is possible in the middle, and if he can avoid the kiss on the blue, I think he's going to have to take this on. He's got no option but to take it on, because the white's going to go into balk. Oh, is he going to play in and out of balk, or is he just going to play the negative white in balk? He's played in and out of balk, but he's kissed the yellow. Has it kissed it well? It's okay. Very, very good shot. We've seen two excellent shots, one from each player.
Shaun Murphy.
Well, bad enough missing the brown, but he's brought the black into play for his opponent. There's been some balls missed in this match this evening, unexpectedly. And as I say, getting the cannon to bring the black into play, that's just the icing on the cake for Ken Doherty.
One. Eight. Nine. Okay.
Ken taking his time, looking at all the options. He's perfect on the black. He just wants to make certain he makes the most of this opportunity. The way he started playing at this match, and when he went 4-1 behind, it's hard to believe that he's a chance here to go 5-4 in front. But that's certainly the case.
17.
Depends on the angle here. If he's straight after, well, now he can play for the red near the top cushion. That's okay. I mean, you'd have a preference here to play for the black in the same pocket as the
24.
red. The reason I say that is because all the reds are on the left-hand side. So stun for the off the cushion, black in the same pocket, and then
25.
you can more or less see where you want the cue ball to be going, and it just gives you a better feel. Having said that, he just didn't bounce off this top cushion far enough.
Yeah, to hold the cue ball, he's going to have to play the cannon into the red to the left of the pink. Full ball, he wants to hit that. That's the one. Hit it 3/4 ball, but he's still okay. It's all about knowing when you've got to play those little
32.
kisses just to slow the cue ball down. The full ball would have been perfect, but half ball's okay.
33.
Well, I don't think I've seen a turnaround in a match like this for quite some time.
Yeah, I must admit myself, Willie, I didn't see this coming, but as I said when I was reproaching myself before, how could we ever give up on someone like Ken Doherty? I mean, if he's not playing well, we'll find a way to somehow stay in the match.
38.
But the thing is now, he started to cue really well.
That's all he was doing though, John, wasn't he? He just stayed in the match. He wasn't doing anything.
No. Of course, to do that, sometimes you need a little bit of help from your opponent. I don't know if at 4-1 Shaun
39.
Murphy just took his foot off the pedal, but if he did, he'll be regretting it now. Beautifully played. He's got
46.
a 43-point lead now. You'd be very,
47.
very surprised if he broke down. And Shaun Murphy facing the problem of being 1 down with 2 to play.
53.
He's just a little bit undecided there. He'd like to have played on the black off this red to the left corner, but he'd have to play it with side, and he doesn't particularly fancy it. He's always the option, of course, to go up for the blue, but he'd be worried he didn't get the right angle.
Yep. 54.
Okay, a little bit straighter would have been better. It's just this one shot that he's just got to get right. I think he could come down the right-hand side of the table as we look and still be on this red that's closest to the left corner. He'd have to really hit it, overhit it by some way not to be on it. He's played that perfect.
59.
And of course, once he clears this red, he leaves that other red available into the same pocket. There you see it, 56 ahead, 59 remaining. Just this red required. The comeback is complete.
60.
And not only complete, he's one frame away from a place in the semi-final.
$65.
Oh, could it be back-to-back
66.
hundreds? This has been another excellent break.
$73. 74.
He made a tremendous 1-4-1 break in the last frame. Could it be back-to-back hundreds here? He's come alive.
81.
And the fact the brown's off its spot makes this positional shot to yellow very easy. You can just float it in off one cushion. The white's almost travelling over the brown spot, but overhit that slightly. It's going to be tough now to get on the green.
87. $89.
Now pot the green off the side cushion, cannon the brown into play. It's all looking
92.
very easy. It really is. It wasn't like this before the interval. So there's a lesson for any of
96.
you young up-and-coming players. If you start off a match bad, don't despair. Keep at it. Marvellous. Back-to-back
101.
centuries. He was struggling to make back-to-back 50s in the first four frames. One up for
107.
perseverance, and now right in stride. 1-4-1 in the last frame.
114.
114 in that one. Shaun Murphy now has got big problems. He led 4-1, he trails 5-4.
Red went right over the middle pocket last time, not this time. We've had some matches, haven't we, this week? The first couple of matches I didn't think were very good, but the last 4 or 5 matches have been top draw. Could we have another 6-5?
He just caught that a little bit too thick. If it had run past the brown, it'd have been safe. but flicking the brown, it's left this red onto the left corner. But there's no half measures now for Shaun Murphy. He can't afford many more mistakes. It's just not happening. Close, but no cigar.
One.
Well, the red going in the corner wipes its feet. Any harder and I don't think it'd have gone in. But in it went, and perfect on the blue. Terrific chance.
6.
Ken has won many matches where he has struggled, but I think this will rank up there with one of his best performances for some time, from being in a position where literally wasn't playing at all to turning it around and hitting the ball beautifully. This is how he played against Mark Williams.
Yep. 7.
First 3 or 4 shots have not got him very clean though. Deciding, I think, to play for the red in the middle pocket rather than risk playing with a little bit of side for the reds in the opposite corner. This is, of course, the frame to win the match, and sometimes you don't want to play anything
14.
risky.
Yeah, sometimes you're quite tempted just to take what's on, really, aren't you? Build up that 40, 50 point lead before you have to take any undue risks. I think that's the way Ken will be seeing it.
15.
Well, he didn't strike that very well, and he's lucky to be on this red. He got into that cue ball much too much, and being this close to red, he's very lucky to have the right potting angle on it.
21.
There's 2 loose reds he can still play for, just above the black. I mean, he's got a good angle to come off the yellow and into the side of the cluster. But no, as I say, he's quite happy at the moment just to take off the loose balls. And that's a lovely positional shot. Maybe an inch or 2 further down would have been ideal, but it's pretty good. And when he pots this red, there'll be another red available for the opposite corner. Obviously the pink will
24.
go.
Will it go onto its own spot though, John? Because if it doesn't, it may actually cover that red up that is loose at the moment. It will go on its own spot, so he can play the run through for the bottom red. Or the top red. There's 2 there, isn't there?
Okay.
Well, this has been a lesson to everybody watching, hasn't it? That
Right.
you can't always play well and win, and a lot of players would have given in playing so poorly at 4-1 behind. Not Ken Doherty. His pot success rate was down at something like 75% earlier on in the match, and it's shot up to 93%, and Shaun
31.
Murphy's gone down to 87. Shaun Murphy hardly missed a ball in the first 4 frames.
So he's taken all the loose reds. This is the last one of them.
36.
So it's important now. Well, I suppose he could try and move the reds in potting this one, or if he doesn't, leave himself a nice angle on the colour. Played
37.
the stun and played it perfectly. There's a possibility he could win frame and match now at this visit.
Suddenly getting through the
44.
ball beautifully. Earlier on in commentary was saying that Ken looked to be a little bit jabby and not getting through the ball, and you can always tell that when they're not screwing back to the desired position. All of a sudden, since the interval, he's getting through the ball, getting a lot more cue ball movement. We spoke about lack of cue ball movement earlier on in the match. All of a sudden it's back. Played that black so well there.
45.
Well, there's one red in the middle of the table. I don't think the one just to the right of the cluster is one that will interest him, but he has an angle if he wanted to go into that cluster once again. He can't just win it with the loose reds. Depends how he feels and how he sees it. Just playing for the loose red, and he could have played it better than that. He played for this red in the right middle.
52.
If it doesn't pass the blue, he'll still play it in the right middle. And, well, if it does pass the blue, only just, as I say, he played for it in the right middle. He'll be now wishing he'd have played a little cannon. Right middle pocket it is, 52 points the lead.
Ken Doherty.
Poor positional
52.
shot, but he didn't risk all on that red, and he's covered the red he played the pot on, so he's left nothing. It's a good lead.
It's amazing when you're playing well how the run of the ball changes. Shaun Murphy was playing well earlier on, getting the little kisses and things that went wrong. It's all of a sudden Doherty's playing big, playing well, and the little bits of run are coming back again now for him. Just overhit the black, didn't he, John? You mentioned he played to get onto the red in the middle, and this is what he wanted to do with the showing Hawkeye here. Just come on and off the cushion. End up leaving it in virtually in the corner pocket, but got away with it. Shaun Murphy in trouble. Will he risk playing safe to the baulk cushion, him behind the brown spot? Not this time.
So we're now into a tactical exchange. Goes without saying, if Shaun Murphy doesn't win this little exchange, then he's going to lose the match. So there's a lot of pressure on Shaun here. And that's an excellent shot from Ken at the moment. That cue ball is just going wherever he wants it to go. Okay, that loose positional shot, but prior to that, he's really upped his game. I think Shaun may just be able to flick off the reds. He can just get past the black to flick off the reds to the baulk cushion. But even that is fraught with danger. There's 3 reds up in that part of the table. And he can't afford to give Ken Doherty another chance. Well, he got out of that little problem.
Shaun Murphy only scored 3 points in the last 2.5 frames, so even if he gets a chance, he's had precious little table time. Is he being tempted by this one in the middle? Needs to run through and get on the blue. Well, that is a fantastic shot. Having been kept off of the table for 2.5 frames, 50 points behind, whatever he gets off a shot like that, he deserves. Brilliant shot.
Yes, and I think he was well aware that it could have been his last shot, should he have missed it. So every credit. But he needs a few more of the same to pull this frame out of the fire.
Yes, if it wasn't the frame to stay in the match,
6.
even though he came to the table after that red 50 behind, he'd be favourite. But because this is the frame to stay in the match, it's not as easy as that now.
7.
In practice, he'd be a cert to declare, but this is huge. Having lost 4 frames on the trot, this will be an exceptional clearance should he do it.
$12. Yeah. $13. $20.
Well, we were aware that both these players have exceptional temperaments. We've seen that from Doherty coming from 4 and behind. This will show Shaun Murphy's if he clears
21.
from here. I think the match deserves 5-5, to be honest. I think it's been an excellent quality.
$27. $28.
A little bit surprised he played for the pink there. I'd much rather play for the blue. It would have been closer to the next red, but just about got the angle.
$34.
Using the rest here though, I don't think he can. He's going for his little extension, so maybe he feels he can reach this without the rest, but it looks to me as though he'd be stretching a little bit. 18 points behind now.
$35.
A little surprised he screwed back there. I thought he'd have just stunned it in, then it would have been just 3 little stun shots, one after another. He's left himself a little bit to do from brown to red. He wanted to be straighter on this brown than this. Well, is he planning to cannon into the yellow? Well, he's left himself plenty to do now. That wasn't the bad shot, that one there. It was the red to brown that was the poor positional shot.
39.
He gave himself plenty to do.
40.
That was a massive red. Well, the last 4 frames have just been out of this world. Ken Doherty must have thought
43.
when he led by 52 points to nil that he was maybe going to win the match 6-4. He's going to have to dig deep again.
45.
Yes, Ken was in first, and we were saying he may just concentrate on the open reds. Maybe he should have been a little bit more positive near the end of his 52 break. But this is, to me,
48.
the shot that can always go wrong. Brown to blue. If he pots the brown, gets perfect on the blue, obviously no problem.
52.
And he's done exactly that. Perfect on the blue. The points are level. He just needs the blue and pink to take us into a decider.
$57.
Well, many clearances give you a buzz, but this one would really give Shaun Murphy a buzz. 5-4 behind, 52 points to nil behind. The clearance of 63, 70 with the black has been top draw.
70 on the
Well,
frame.
we've got a match
Shaun
on.
Murphy.
It's been a fantastic game. Shaun Murphy dug very deep, as Doherty did earlier on. We're in for a decider. We're all square at 5-all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The final frame. Ken Doherty to break. Right, settle down. Quiet now, please.
Another decider at this year's Saga Insurance Masters. And may the best man win.
It was a very aggressive safety shot he plays. He needs the white to go behind the brown, and it hasn't. So first chance Doherty. Will he risk playing for the black, or will he go up for blue or bought colour?
Just looking at the potting angle there, Willie, I think he may have to play for the black, because if he tries to run through for the blue, he could kiss the second red that's near the top cushion. So it's more of a stun, this. Well, he didn't get any backspin on the cue ball, but I think he was trying to stun on and off the top cushion, and he didn't really hit the object ball was planned, and that's why he's finished there. He still pot the black, but should have been easier than this. Potted it, but couldn't hold the cue ball at this end of the table, so the next red is difficult.
Goes without saying these are missable, because he's going to have to play in and out of baulk to get the cue ball in play. Always missable, and he tried to play it as a shot to nothing. Look at the side he put on
8.
to try and play it as a shot to nothing. The outside red will pot. So he played a lot of right hand side there. Watch the path the white was taking. If Shaun can play this one on the outside of the pack and guarantee not kissing anything, he'll play it, but he can't. So he's playing the thin cut, playing the pot, but shot to nothing. Well, it's a tempter. If it's dead straight, to stun it in for the black, there's the black that's available. If this wasn't the deciding frame, you'd say he was favourite to get it. He's still slight favourite to get it, but there's a bit of pressure on this one. Goodness me. There was a bit of pressure on that one.
When he wasn't playing it, he probably thought the only red he could leave was the one he was playing, but that cue ball was run up the right-hand side of the table, and this red is just about on for the left middle.
One.
Nicely rolled in. Perfect on the blue.
Six.
Probably would have liked to get onto the red on the right hand side to run through the black, but now he's going to have to go up for blue or bought colour. It's all about
Seven.
getting on the black and freeing those reds, isn't it? Before you consider it to be a frame and match winning chance, but whenever you're at the table, you're always favourite. So Doherty favourite at this moment.
And a chance here to play for the black.
12.
Although, having looked at the potting angle, maybe he'd prefer to go back up for the blue. Depends how he sees it. Back up for the blue, but
13.
that's not great. If it had run on a little bit more and left the blue into the far right corner, then he wouldn't have been too bad, but this is a tricky pot. Okay, the advantage is doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball, so just concentrate on potting the blue. And now he's on this red that you thought, Willie, and I did, he'd have played for a few shots ago.
18.
Because he can pot this red and play for the black, and if he could get on the black and clear the black area, he'd have a chance to win the frame.
19.
And that could be the one. I just looked at Ken's face, a little bit of a grimace. He wanted to be a little bit straighter on the black than this, but I think there's half a chance here he could develop reds. Is he on the one to the left corner?
Yes, on the previous red he potted it thin, that's why he left
26.
himself a difficult black, but it's turned out in his favour really.
Obviously can't get through to the one to the left corner, so this one to the right corner. You'll have to go up for the blue or bought colour. The black is not available into the left corner. Pink's tied up.
Thanks. 27.
Not for the first time when going up for the blue. Short of pace.
The fact that the yellow's off its spot makes this a lot easier to go in and out of bought, but I can't see how he can get onto reds at this end of the table, unless he plays for the two reds behind the black in the right-hand corner, not in the left-hand corner that they're nearest to. Looks like he's trying to screw in behind the red in the same pocket as he's playing the blue. This could go wrong, but it hasn't done. Great shot.
32.
That could be the shot that wins him this frame and match. That was beautifully played. perfect on the red, now perfect on the blue. Wonderful control here, and couldn't have finished better on the red. He's got an angle to play the cannon, if he so wishes.
He refused it in the last frame, didn't he, John, and played for a loose red when he was on 52, cost him the frame.
Yep. But the way he's fought and battled and raised his game in this match, he doesn't need any advice from you and I, will he? Played the cannon, needs a bit of luck. I think he's had it. I think he's had it. Didn't catch the pink as he would like. He came running round off 2 cushions, but he had a little bit of side on the cue ball. It run round, kissed that red full in the face, back in perfect position. Well, not perfect position, but on a red, and that's the most important thing.
He's just got to push through the second red. Pink's available. Got to play this quite firm, this kiss, just to make sure the red gets out of the way and the white runs through a little bit. Well, run through a little bit. It's run through a lot. The black's still on,
39.
but tricky.
Yeah, I didn't think he could play for the black, but he's on it. Just one good pot away from winning this match now, you feel, and that pot is the black.
$46.
Nothing he can do now, Shaun. I'm sure at 4-1 in front, he thought he comfortably had the match in his pocket. I know we did.
47.
But Ken dug in there, raised his game, made marvellous back-to-back centuries, 1-4-1, 1-1-4, to win frames 8 and 9. And even Shaun Murphy's tremendous clearance of 70 to get us to this decider. So it's going to be in vain for the young man from Rotherham. There you see it, 61 ahead, 75
53.
remaining.
Yep.
Red and the black will do. Well, he's running up for the blue. In it
54.
goes, so he needs the blue and one more red for a famous victory, really. And a lesson to all you young up-and-coming players. If you start the match off badly, don't drop your head, don't give in, keep at it. It can turn around, and it certainly has done for the doubling of this evening.
$59.
That's it. A great performance and well appreciated by this crowd here at the Wembley Arena. It'll have to be another year for Shaun Murphy. Such a talent. I wouldn't accuse him of anything.
66.
But 4-1 in front, maybe a couple of shots that he might think twice about if he had his time over.
Thanks. 67.
I'm not beyond the realms of possibility. Ken can't make his third century in 4 frames.
74. 75. 82. '83. Go on, Ken. 90.
By the way, he's played these,
91.
deserves a century, doesn't he? Wonderful performance.
'96.
Just the green for
98.
3 centuries in 4 frames. Marvellous performance. Well played,
101.
Ken Doherty. He bangs the table, but not out of disgust, out of sheer delight.
105. 110.
An exhibition shot.
116.
An exhibition shot that worked nicely on the black.
Now, hang on
And
for 1
Ken
second,
will be
guys.
so relieved and overjoyed at this performance. Well done. Absolutely superb. Start of the match wasn't in, it wasn't queuing, never gave up. Shaun Murphy maybe took a chance too many, but Ken Doherty stuck in. He's made 3 century breaks in the last 4 frames, topping that with a 1-4-1. He goes through to the semi-final. A marvellous winner at 6 frames to 5.
Thank you.